Man, what's up, everybody? What's up, world? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's had a good day so far. It's having a good night, good evening. Of course, today we want to talk about what's already been, I guess, beat to death and talked about to death. But I guess we still got to kind of cover it. Give you my perspective on the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. I honestly think that it was. I mean, okay, I can look at it both ways. I'm not gonna say completely. I believe it was staged because of a portion of the of how he kind of reacts after it. But I also I think it was kind of staged, possibly because he doesn't do anything about it after it happens. So let's take a look at the video and we'll come back to it.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Look, Will smiling. And we'll pause it right there. So Will is obviously smiling, right? He's smiling, so it doesn't seem like he has too much offense with it at first, right? But you see over here, Jada is not happy about what has just been said. So I guess when you got your wife there, and she's obviously not happy about that or feels offended, then he has to come to her defense, which he does. But at the same time, Jada has this shaded past, and we all know the situation that happened with her between her and August Alsina, right? But you didn't hear Will having this type of aggression or this type of energy when she was sleeping around with August, right? So let's continue on.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
Now, real quick before we get to the slap part. All right, so remember you had Dave Chappelle who did some real, some very controversial jokes or whatever, and sometimes comedians push it, right? You had the other white comedian, I can't think of his name, Bill Maher or whichever one, I don't know, but he was using the N word, I believe, on stage. Nobody walked up there and slapped him or anything, but so that was kind of made me feel like maybe partially some of this was staged or was set up, but let's continue on. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
All right, so let's back that up. So Chris Rock obviously looks like he's seeing what's about to happen. I know he got to know that it's going to be some type of confrontation, and he doesn't put up any type of defense. He's just standing there and almost prepares himself to embrace the impact. So that's another thing that kind of made me sketchy about it. Like, what man sees another grown man approaching him and doesn't put up his guard, doesn't get in a defensive stance, just sit up here and takes the punch and then continues on. Like, if you punch a man, you would think the first reaction would be to defend himself, to punch back, regardless of the setting you in, regardless of it being the Oscars or whatnot, right? So let's continue on.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
And so that's his response, right? Nothing else. He plays it all comedic, like it's almost all good. But then he goes on to kind of continue his dialogue, and he started to mix up his words. That's what made me think that it was possibly real, because he's obviously frustrated. And I didn't get to see the rest of the Oscars or how things may have gone, as far as his commentary afterwards. But if you notice, I'm gonna play this part. You'll see how it seems like he's kind of rattled.
You take my name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
Right. So, real quick, why did he not have that same energy like that for August Alsina? August Alsina made a whole song called Entanglements. And if you listen to the song Entanglements, it got some pretty tasteful lyrics in there, to where, like, if you talking about this man wife talking about, in the song where she's leaving him to be with you. She's messing with you to get back at him. Why Will did not have that same energy for him? I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you pick your battles. Like, hey man, he most likely Will can whoop Chris Rock. So maybe he was like, man, you know what? It's Chris Rock. I'm not gonna let him get away with that. But had this been somebody, probably with a little bit more, like John Cena or, Michael Jai White or somebody else, maybe he wouldn't have made that move. Maybe he'd be like, right. But that's neither here nor there. Let's continue on and see how when he begins to bumble a little bit.
Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for Best Documentary.
You see, hear that? That makes you wonder, like, okay, that may have been real, bro, because he's starting to mix his words up now. He's obviously probably first, flustered by the situation and is trying to stay on key, trying to stay, with it. The show must go on, but he's obviously having some, some issues right here. So we'll bring it back a couple more seconds and then keep it going.
To give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for Best Documentary. Now, the beauty of documentaries, because they make you, when you watch one, you feel smart. Like you watched like you read a book or something. But all you really did was get high and watch Netflix. So here we go. The documentaries, the nominees are, let's just go to the nominees.
Yeah, he's flustered. So that's what makes me think maybe it was possibly real. He's obviously, kind of trying to keep it together, but you see there's some type of aggravation and frustration in his voice, and he's just trying to keep it together. So that's the part maybe think it was real. Of course, the Oscars aren't known for their, super hellified ratings. So maybe they, did this stunt, Yeah, listen where he said I coulda. Right, exactly, bro. And it makes me wonder, like, man, you have to kind of look into it and just wonder, like, but besides the fact whether it was staged and a lot of people I've been hearing on my Facebook, and people been saying that, oh, this just shows how how black people can be so violent, and this is what happens. This is just how they are. And I was like, man, okay. I really didn't even want to talk about it, but I was like, allegedly Princess Diana was murdered by her family, allegedly for dating the Egyptian dude, the Egyptian prince dude, the Egyptian guy, not Diop, I can't think of his name. What's his name, guy? The Egyptian guy that she was dating, the Muslim guy. And, so yeah, Dodi Fayed, right? Dodi Fayed. So to me, it's like, we pale in comparison to the violence that some of these people allegedly keep up, put up behind their people. And, my bad. I just didn't really, I really just didn't really kind of take that comment to heart too much. If they really want to go there, then yeah, black people have our own issues here in America. Yeah, we got a lot of black on black crime and whatnot, but if it pales in comparison to what's going on in Russia right now, that's white on white crime. It pales in comparison to the genocide that the Europeans and many other have inflicted on Aboriginal people and Native people throughout the world. So you think you bad. You think that black on black crime and drive-bys and carjackings and all this are really bad, but that pales in comparison to a nuclear bomb being dropped on like Hiroshima. So, don't get caught up in that, man. So that was something that somebody had said, was like, oh, this makes us look bad. Stop sharing the video. Y'all just spreading negativity about our black community. And I'm like, man, that little slap, that compares in comparison to, everything else that's going on. So I wouldn't even get caught up too much in that, but, it is what it is. So we just want to kind of hint on that, man. And that's pretty much what I want to say about that, man. Comedians do off-color jokes. It could have been staged. Let me see. Let me back it up. I'll play it one more time, and we'll go to Herschel Walker real quick. Let me see. It's like a 223, right?
Hardest job tonight, Javier Bardem. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying
Listen,
that
when he
Will
said I
Smith
could've, listen,
wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess he did kind of.
So we are here.
So I guess he did kind of stop where he said he was about to say maybe I could have. He could have did something else, but you know, that's an unfortunate situation. It's you know, it is what it is, man. If somebody disrespects your wife, you know, I'm pretty sure that many of us would go out and do something in response to make her feel more comfortable. But it's unfortunate that had to happen. But I think a lot of this stuff is coming to a head. You know, Chris Rock then did some borderline things, especially like using the N-word on this little podcast, man, with these two white comedians or whatever, and that was really like distasteful. And then, you know, this situation with Jada or whatever, you know, you knew eventually like this stuff is gonna spill over because even when he makes the reference to G.I. Jane, the lady who played G.I. Jane, she also had an affair with Ashton Kutcher. And so he could have been taking jabs at that situation, not just to her, right? You just never know. If you look deep into it, it could be that too. So, anyways, let's kind of fast forward that, you know, because it's not really that important. It was just something that we just want to kind of just chop it up about because a lot of people have been talking about it. But to me, the part that's being overlooked and a lot of people forgetting to talk about is this right here. It's Herschel Walker. So we all know that Herschel Walker is helping out the Trump campaign and the Republicans. I think he may even be running for like a congressional or Senate seat or whatnot. But he's up here at the Trump rally and he's making a speech. And we all know Herschel Walker is a former athlete and doesn't seem to have all of the best articulation skills. It's just not the brightest or the sharpest pencil in the deck, right? But he goes on to make this statement. I thought it was just too hilarious. I had to share it with y'all. Let me just put it up real quick. It was just too funny. He talks about critical race theory. I think he's trying to talk about critical race theory, right? So he goes on to say this real quick.
People want to ask me all the time why I'm running. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of them wanting to teach CTR in school, critical race theory. Can you tell me what that means? We're Americans. We're not black. We're not white. We're American. We're all mutts. I hate to tell you that.
No, bro, we're not all mutts, fam. Let's kill that noise. But that was just too hilarious. I gotta play that again one more time, y'all.
I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of them wanting to teach CTR in school, critical race theory. Can you tell me what that means? We're Americans. We're not black. We're not white. We're American. We're all mutts. I hate to tell you that.
The famous Obama talking point, right? Where everybody talks about how there's not no black America, not no white America. This is the United States of America. Guys, let's cut the plan out and let's stop pretending like racism doesn't exist and there is not an extreme disparagement gap between the white race and the black race in America. Let's just be honest. Not saying that every black person is racist. Not saying that every white person is racist. But there is a difference. And for him to get up there and say, there ain't no black, ain't no white, we all Americans. He know what he's doing. He's pandering, and he is wrong. Man, I went to a predominantly white university. And it was a difference, man. Not saying that I was, treated, badly, but a lot of the white people that was at my university, they didn't rock with me. I mean, I had some that did, but the frat kids and all those type of people who had, all of that money and everything, that didn't come up and rock with me. It was the black students kind of migrated and worked. We kind of stayed in our own little pies and worked together. A lot of us were less fortunate financially. You didn't really, there was a difference, and it was easily to decipher the difference. So for him to say that, that just shows, that he's pandering, he's really being ignorant. For y'all that just jumped in, I'm gonna play this back for you one more time. So you want to give you a good laugh. This boy Herschel Walker.
I'm sick and tired of them wanting to teach CTR in school, critical race theory. Can you tell me what that means? We're Americans. We're not black. We're not white. We're American. We're all mutts. I hate to tell you that.
Cut it out, bro. Cut it out. Cut it out. We know he's pandering. Yo, it's amazing things happen for YouTube channels after the slap heard around the world. The world couple small YouTubers ever had over a million. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, Trish. Man, I know, right? I started to make the video earlier this morning when I first heard about it. But it really wasn't that pertinent to me. I made a couple of little shorts about it, just of the slap, because I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, I wasn't in a hurry to, to go to make that video. I feel like the Herschel Walker situation was a whole lot funnier with him getting up there and saying CTR versus CRT, right? Just because it's more pertinent to what's going on in our world. But that's cool, man. A lot of people trying to get their YouTube channels going and get their followers up. But we talked about this before. It's crazy that when you get up here and you show stuff about like the slap that went worldwide and foolishness and ratchet behavior, that's what people gravitate to. But when you get on here and you talk about real topic and real issues that's going on in our community, that's going on in our country, people don't want to talk about that. You're not gonna get millions of views and millions of people following you and millions of people sharing your page XYZ behind that. And that's really the stuff that we need to be paying attention to when we talked about, Kentaji and some of her questionable legislation, and her, when she threw out the lawsuit against Lockheed Martin. Most people don't know that, but they worried about the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'll put it on there. Yeah. He rooting for Trump. Yeah, Herschel Walker is definitely rooting for Trump. Man, I'm rocking for Trump myself this time. I'm not rocking with Joe Biden and the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I think that like I said before, when you do your research, Trump really had some legislation and some things that really would have helped our community. A lot of people said that Trump was racist, but people weren't calling him racist when they were applying for their PPP loans. People weren't calling Trump racist when they was getting those stimulus checks, through COVID. When he proposed that $500 billion to help black businesses, they weren't calling him racist. When he was putting up that, well, in the black community, I can say, and many in the white community, when he was throwing that wall up to keep out these illegal immigrants, yeah, they may have called them racist, but a lot of us was like, man, that's well overdue. We got these people just influxing into our communities and our neighborhoods, and they seem like they get more of a pass than the people who's actually been here, and they come in and a lot of them are taking advantage of different type of economic programs that were initially put in place for people who were, really suffering and really needing it. And so, you got to at least you got to at least acknowledge and call truth for what they is. I believe Trump the only one that met with Ice Cube about the contract with Black America, even though the Democrats said they would do so. So you really got to be careful, when we decide on who we gonna vote for and why we vote for him. He just needs to sit down and do all that. I ain't trying. I just think he gonna keep it 100. At least he's not trying to trick nobody. Yes, exactly. Trump is gonna, he just gonna be himself. I remember back in the '90s, Lil Kiki and all these guys in the South, a lot of rappers talked about Donald Trump and looked up to him, with praise. Now all of a sudden it's when the mainstream media, talks about, oh, hey, Trump, he's the boogeyman. Then all of a sudden people get behind that type of dialogue. But man, you got to make the best decision for yourself. And that's why I tell people, don't just get on here and listen to people on YouTube. Don't just get on here and, listen to what your close friend got to say. You do your research for yourself. Google some things and Google both sides of the argument. Now, the Herschel Walker thing was just, he needs to sit down somewhere. He tripped. He talking about the CTR, man. Critical theory race, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we got to link up and do African ancestry. I found something on it. Yeah. I mean, the African ancestry is very important, knowing your lineage and knowing your heritage. I really think that many of us, of course, have a lot of African ancestry. Many of us, everybody came from Africa, right? Oldest bones are found in Ethiopia, I believe. So everybody migrated out of the world, and through different, just say like northern hemisphere, right? Just through different type of climates in different type of parts of the world, whether you were exposed to sunlight or not, determine how your skin color would change. Just like, for instance, when they talk about how people who are in the closer to the equator, you have darker skin, you have larger nostrils. Because why? Because when you breathe in that warm air, you're doing a lot of running, the things of that nature. You need to be able to breathe. So you have larger nostrils. You're by the equator. You're receiving more direct sunlight. So your skin is going to get darker. It's hotter. So your hair is going to grow up. But when you're in the northern hemisphere, like the Caucasus Mountains and things of that nature, XYZ, your hair will tend to grow down like fur because it's so cold. And you need that long hair to help keep your body warm. You don't need the bigger nostrils because the air is so cold. You need the thinner nostrils. You're not receiving so much direct sunlight, so your skin becomes lighter. So we are all really the same people, the same beings. If you ask me, my opinion, I know a lot of people have different theories of XYZ, but I think that we all kind of evolved pretty much and just migrated to different parts of the world, because we all know, if you look at this right here, see if I can bring it up real quick. I think it was called Pangaea. When the whole world was connected together, it was the continents were one. There you go. I think it was called Pangaea, right? And yeah, it is called Pangaea. So if you look at images of Pangaea, right, and I'll share my screen with you guys so everybody can see it, because I like, let's see, we'll stop this screen share. We'll stop sharing this. All right, enough on oh boy, and we'll look at this Pangaea, right? So when you look at Pangaea, right? So this is Pangaea right here, guys. This is when the Earth was connected as one. And if you look at all the continents, just take this, this colorful looking one. All right. This is when the Earth was all connected. It was one continent. The whole world was one continent. And then, of course, through time and, millions and millions of years of evolution, plate tectonics and things like that, the world began to separate. In different parts of the world, man, people were already stuck on different parts of the world. So if you look at it like that, let's see if I can make it full screen for everybody. Let's see. Let's make it full screen. Bam. Let's look at it like this. Let's stop this share. We'll do this, share this screen right here. All right, let me share this. Make a bigger picture. All right, here you go. Bam. All right, so when you look at it like this right here, the world was one continent. As you see, North America, South America, Africa, Antarctica, India, Australia. The world was one continent. So everybody, if life originated in Africa, then people began to migrate all over the world, and then gradually throughout millions and hundreds of thousands of years, through plate tectonics and floods and XYZ, the world just began to separate. Then you just had people already on certain parts of land. That's why when you listen to people like Dr. Claude Anderson, he talks about the Folsom people. And the Folsom people were like the Aboriginal people of North America. And it says that a lot of Black Americans really descended from those Folsom people. Just like we know about the Australian Aborigines, and we talk about, the Black Asian phenotype people. Many of these people migrated and just got separated through, floods and, earthquakes, and the world just transitioned. So that's just my theory on it. Let's say, so we look at, all right, Earth's continents. And if you look at it now, let's see, let's just look at the continent. I ain't gonna look at the crust, I want to look at the continents. So if you look at the continents, all right, so if you look at the continents, if you look at this map right here, all right, we all look at this map. Let me see if I can share this other screen real quick. If you look at this map, it just makes sense. All right. So all of this seems to fit together, right? If you look at how, let's look at South America, how it fits right there into Africa. If you look at North America squeezes right in here on top of North Africa or East Africa, and right there between Europe, So a lot of this stuff was already merged together, guys. A lot of this stuff was already put together. But throughout time, the separation of the continents, we get people stuck on different land masses. So, we all migrated out of Africa, and it's important to know your history, realize that we are all one people. We are all one race, if you ask me. So I don't get caught too much up on the racism thing. You just got to realize that it is the rich man's trick to keep us divided and conquer. If we could separate, and I think, Fred Hampton used to say back in the day, when he had the the Rainbow Coalition, right? And the poor people's movement. He was trying to unite all poor people of all different ethnicities together to march on the elite, not just to march on white people, to march on the elite. Anybody that was being an elitist that was trying to keep people down, we was gonna use. He had people from KKKs and people from Nazi groups and people from the Black Panther groups. All these poor people trying to unite them together to come together to fight against the opposition. And then you see what happened to him. He was killed for that. Because to me, the elite, the wealthy people know that it's not about color. It's about power and dominance. And the only way to keep people, empowered and dominant over you is to separate you, keep you from coming together. And so, just, be wise to the tricks and the tricks that's being, done and played on us as a people, man. But I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. I didn't mean to really go in like this. I just want to kind of just touch on the slap that went around the world. The Will Smith and Chris Rock thing. It's an unfortunate situation, but it's whether it was real, it was fake. It was unfortunate. And then mainly about this Herschel Walker, because he is hilarious. That was just too funny to me. And so, anyways, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Cuz a good hearing for you, Tristan. Take care of you, man. Hold it down. I see you boys soon. I'll catch y'all next time, man. I just wanted to talk about that. And I'll catch y'all in my next video. I'm out this thing. Peace.